All right, yabba-dabba-doo sports fans, and good early Saturday morning to you from Barrel Ice Arena here in Warrendale, Pennsylvania for the final tune-up game for your Steel City Selects 14U girls in their traveling blacks, even though we're on the home bench, which is why I had to move. Sorry I made you all a little dizzy there moving the camera live, but we're in our traveling blacks on the home bench for a tune-up game with these North Pittsburgh Wildcats. This is their... Tina tried to explain it to me, and I'm going to tell you I'm confused. 12U AA-1 team. Apparently they have a number of teams at this level, and this is the 12U AA-1. The reason we have this team, they're coached by Jim Black's son. So this will be a good tune-up for us before we head out to South Dakota, and this will also be it. This will be the final stream of the year. For those of you who don't know, I cannot do this at Nationals. They prohibit it. It's not my choice. You know I'd lug the gear. But USA Hockey sells a subscription service for $20 or $25 a month, and they broadcast all the games live, and obviously they want to protect that revenue stream. So they do not allow me to do this from there. So we will not be doing this from Nationals. After 5 years of doing this every game, I'm not going to know what to do with myself during a hockey game where I don't do this or huddle. So I'll have to find something to do. It'll probably be a set of live updates through TeamSnap for those of you that aren't going to be watching on the subscription service. So stay tuned for that from South Dakota. Most of us are leaving in the next couple of days to head out there. Action starts Wednesday from Sioux Falls, as our girls are going to go for a national title as part of the USA Hockey Nationals. We've got a minute left on the warm-up clock. I'm going to mute it out. We'll figure out how much time we're going to play. I don't know. I don't know how long our ice slot is, but we'll get it figured out, and I'll be back with you here shortly. All right, it looks like we're going to do 3:16s, which is our normal set of time here. You'll notice most of the girls have their Nationals patches on at this point, which is good to see. They're wearing their USA Hockey Nationals patches on their upper right shoulder, just below the gold stripe. So I realize, unless you're on a big screen, you likely can't see that at home. But if you notice something new on the jerseys, those are the USA Hockey Nationals patches. So it looks like we're going to start with Klein, Claherty, and Yenny with Kiesel. That's a little slip up there, a Freudian slip. Kiesel and Dull out back. And looks like Eves in net. And the boys are wound up this morning, so we'll get our noises going as always. Looks like, there we go. Ref drops the puck, and it's back to the Wildcats over in front of their bench. So they send it ahead. Yenny chips it into the zone. Wildcats send it over to the near wall. And comes up here in front of me. We're tight. We're on the right rink here at Barrel, so things are a little tight as Claherty takes it back through neutral. Claherty across to Yenny. Yenny up the far side, loses the puck into the corner. Yenny drops it back for Clardy. Clardy far corner. Dancing, skating, loses it in the corner. Wildcats tip it ahead. Hits Stripes in the butt, drops, falls behind. Wildcats back around the long way here. Dahl steps way up, keeps it in low. Klein. Klein loses it. Here come the Wildcats. Wildcats back the other way. Nice up pass there. Kiesel chops that away, and Yenny's going to come back the other way. She puts it ahead for Clardy too far. Wildcats pick it up, come back the other way. Wildcats dump, send it in behind, and just from the speed of this Wildcats team, this should be a good matchup. Zivkovic loses it, and Peets picks it up. We got Peets out here with Panetta, and Clardy's still out. Hasn't given Stevens the chance to jump out as Panetta comes up the near wall. Here comes Stevens as Clardy gets to the bench. Panetta up the near side, shoots, misses near side, in behind the net. All the way around to the far side where Zivkovic's going to hold it up high. Zivkovic throws it in, Panetta tips it, goes into the near corner. Panetta puts it around back for Stevens, doesn't get there. Panetta puts it in front for Peets. Peets leaves it for Stevens. Stevens turns, shot off the goalie. Stevens battling its inner feet. Here come the Wildcats back the other way as they swing and come back the other way. Zivkovic pushes that player to the corner. Tries to get a shot off, can't. Centering pass knocked out by Zivkovic. Panetta puts it ahead to Stevens. Here comes Stevens through neutral. Stevens ahead to Peets. Peets through neutral, gains the blue line, dumps into the far corner, or near corner, and they're going to go for a change as Sherwood jumps out. Here comes Mrazek, and here comes Klein. So the Wildcats are going to come back through neutral. They're going to gain the zone. They're going to dump it in off of Eves' stick off net in behind as they go for a change. Klein dances ahead to Mrazek. Mrazek tips, loses it. Wildcats back the other way. They dump it from just inside the red line into the near corner with 14 left on the clock. Around behind the back way, up the near wall, here come the Wildcats. They send it back ahead to the defense. Sherwood skates in, Mrazek gets a stick on it. They battle in front of the net. They send it across, front of the blue line rather. They send it across. Wildcats break out of their zone, and they're going to dance here along the red line as Sherwood applies pressure. They send it over to the near point, and that's going to be picked up. That's Chloe Howe. She doesn't have her game jerseys. Must have left them somewhere, or they are out. Being patched with the Nationals patches. Marshall chips it ahead to Klein, too far. And the Wildcats are going to golf that into the far corner as Eves helps it get there, or the near corner rather. Far corner from where they shot it, near corner on your screen. Back to neutral. Wildcats. Circling. Up pass. Cut off by Klein. Here comes Klein. She gains the red line, dumps it deep, and the selects are going to go for a change as that puck bounced dangerously through the mouth of the goal off the boards. Wildcats near wall. King comes over to step up, provide some support. Sends it ahead as Howe falls down. And the Wildcats dump it into the corner as Marshall's going to get over there and pick it up. Marshall sends it up ahead for Kinger. Kinger leaves it for Makasenka. Makasenka tries to chip it ahead, can't quite get it there to King. Wildcats come back the other way. Howe back up the wall. Now Makasenka. Makasenka gains the blue line. Makasenka skates into the near corner, tries to center, knocked down by a Wildcat. Around the back the long way. Up to the near point. Kiesel steps up, holds it, at least momentarily. It bounces. This time it's still bouncing along the line. Walkauskas picks it up. Walkauskas pushes that player off the puck, puts it in front of the net, can't get it through. And as Makasenka fell down in front of the net, or maybe it was pushed, over into the far corner. Up the far wall. This time it comes through. Dahl's going to have to skate across. She picks it up, chips it as that Wildcat player hits the wall and holds the puck. Puck into the near corner. Now Wildcats. Dahl knocks it down with her hand and drifts into the center where Makasenka banks it out back to the top of the Wildcats' defensive zone. Wildcats pick it up there as Clardy skates across. Clardy out here now with Yeti and Klein, and the Wildcats are going to dump it into the far corner. In behind goaltender Eves, and they're going to head for a change. We need to be quick up on this one, and Dahl's going to send it, but too late as the Wildcats caught up after that change. They're going to take it around to the far corner, and puck's going to come out. Clardy's going to stop it, at least momentarily, as they're battling to lift her stick. She sends it back into the zone. And now it comes back to the top of the defensive zone. Kiesel with a turnover top of the zone. That player's going to get a shot off. Eves is going to direct that into the far corner. And it's going to go in behind the net now. As the Wildcats pick it up in that corner, they come out dancing in front. They send it up to the top, far point. We're going to get some type of a penalty here. Not sure what. We're getting some type of a penalty here. It's going to be a, oh no. Maybe the net came off. I'm not sure what they're calling here. I didn't see the call. but they're going to bring it out of the zone. And Panetta's battling in the face-off there with Peets and Stevens. Peets battling on the line. You know Mel's going to battle as they send it in, and it is. Offsides. We got Jeff Tyndall out here reffing this morning. Jeff and Jim, good friends. As the Wildcats bring it down the far wall, they bring it into the center. Spinorama move, shot, denied by goaltender Eves. Around the backside to the far corner, Panetta battling up the wall. Panetta tries to steer it ahead to Stevens, got it there. Stevens got it out. Here she comes as she gains, backhands it at the red line, dumps it into the near corner, and she's going to head off for a change. And they're going to call that an icing. Oh no, they're calling a high stick on the puck. It didn't look like an icing. They're going to get a high stick on the puck call. Actually, they're going to get a high stick penalty here on the Wildcats. And that's going to put the Selects on the power play as Walkoskis comes out here with Kinger. And looks like Makasenka as the Wildcats golf it ahead. Dahl picks it up, sends it back up the wall to Kinger, too far. And the Wildcats swing and a miss. It didn't get out. This time it will go out as it bounces by Kiesel. Dahl's going to chase this down. Kiesel's going to get there first. Kiesel turns, spins behind the net, comes up the far wall. Kiesel bounces it ahead to Makasenka. Makasenka tries to get it ahead to Walkoskis as King skated in front of her, goes into the far corner. And Walkoskis is going to go battle there. Walkoskis to Makasenka. Makasenka throws it deeper to King. King in behind the net, tries to throw it back up the wall to Walkoskis. Walkoskis picks it up there, battling with a North Pittsburgh player as they continue to battle. North Pittsburgh player throws it from behind the red line, but they don't call the icing. And here comes Dahl. Dahl turns, circling. Dahl looking for it up. Oh, bad turnover there, cut off. She recovered and poked that into the far corner as the Wildcats pick it up behind the net now. They take it behind. Kiesel up ahead to Makasenka. Makasenka pushed it across and left it as a turnover, and that hit Eves in the blocker and bounced into the crease. So Makasenka just kind of lazily threw it up the ice, and they went for a change. It turned into an opportunity shorthanded for the Wildcats as Klein comes through the zone. Klein skates up the far wall, around behind, penalty almost over, 4 seconds to go. Klein circling, drops it to Howe at the point, turned over to the Wildcats, and here they come. Klein's going to circle, pick that back up. Klein up the near wall, dumps it into the corner, and goes in behind the net now, where it's going to come up the far wall and come all the way out, and that should be, no, Eves touched it, and that waves off the icing. And comes into the center for the Wildcats, now in behind Eves. And it goes into the far corner as Howe fell down. Comes all the way through everybody up to the near point. They bank it awkwardly off the wall all the way around the backside where Howe's going to battle. You got somebody yelling for help, and it comes all the way out to the top of the point. Shot from there, knocked down by Mrazek. And here comes Marshall. Marshall loses it in the zone. Regains, sends it back up ahead to Sherwood. Sherwood sends it lazily in, and that will be on icing. So we're going to come back down here. Brett reminded me that was an icing. So we'll come here to the near circle. Oh no, now we're going to go to the far circle. Stevens, Peets, Panetta, Zivkovic, and it's got to be Litz on the other side. And Peets takes that face off, throws it over to Litz. Litz pushes it out. They hold it at the far point. That puck goes up, and Peets backs it out, comes to the point. They send it across. Stevens stands that player up, and they stop the puck. Puck goes in deeper behind the net. Peets will pick it up there. Peets skates around one, up to Stevens. Stevens chips it out, but there was nobody there. She thought that would be where Panetta would be, but Panetta was not there as the Wildcats chip it in behind Eves into the near corner where Zivkovic's going to go work. Now Peets loses it to a Wildcat behind the net. They come around the backside, looking for a center. They skate in with it. Stevens gets a stick in there, separates that player from the puck. Puck loose in front, near circle. Backhand shot, never gets all the way through. It's loose in front. Eves gets the goaltending equipment on it. And we're going to get a whistle with 7:23 to go, first period. As the boys cheer for Charlotte. see if midway through the period, or midway through the second period, we get Kanachi into some action. Get him warmed up. As Klein's out here now with Sherwood. I'm sorry, Klein's out here now with Claherty and Yenny. As Kiesel puts it ahead for Claherty too far. They wave it off on what should have been a tip. And it goes all the way down in behind the Wildcats goalie. As comes out to the top, Klein battling there. They continue to battle. Claherty pokes it in deeper. Claherty gets a stick under her arm. She didn't fall down. Wildcats send it across. And here they come up the far wall. Kiesel gets a stick in there, separates that player from the puck. Goes into the corner. They regain. Comes in behind off the side of the net on a centering attempt. And Kiesel still chopping at it as Yenny comes over. Yenny's going to battle now. Pushes that player off the puck. He regains. Comes down into the center. Center there for the Wildcats. They come over to the near wall, dancing. Throws it in behind the net, goes all the way around behind everybody. Kiesel's going to pick that up. Kiesel ahead for Claherty. Claherty has Yenny with her. Here they come 2-on-2. Claherty up the far wall. Claherty tries a deke move there, and she faked out herself. She fans on it, sending it in deeper. And puck goes around in the near corner. Wildcats up the near wall here now. They lost it at center. They regain it, send it back up the wall where Dahl's going to pick it up, send it ahead to Walkoskis. Walkoskis down the near wall. Comes in on a bad angle, does the spinorama, turns, drops it out to Dahl. Dahl sends it down deeper to Walkoskis, doesn't get there, knocked down by a Wildcat. Puck up high, back to neutral, where the Wildcats pick it up and dump it into the near corner, where they're going to battle there. Dahl brings it up the near wall, cross ice pass to Makasenka. Makasenka up the far wall. Stops, turns, spins, loses it there, and here come the Wildcats back the other way. Marshall gets a stick in. They get the centering pass in there. Howe was there to push that player out of the way. Loose in front, comes across the goal mouth, and King pushes that to the near wall where she backhands it, tries to get it ahead to Walkoskis can't. Walkoskis battling there, loses it. The Wildcats bring it through, loose top, over to the far circle now. Shot from there, high, missed the net, goes into the near corner, where it's going to go in behind the net now. Wildcats pick it up. Marshall loses it. Centering pass gets through everybody, comes to the near point, where the Wildcats are going to send it. That hits Walkoskis in the chest. She knocks it down. Here she comes. Walkoskis, far wall. They're going to be offsides as Walkoskis danced on the line and King went in. So that's going to create an offside situation. And we're now going to see Claherty, Sherwood, and Mrazek out here with Zivkovic and Litz. So they're going to take a face-off here to my left, near dot. And Stripes drops it. Claherty pushes it forward, but the Wildcats come out of there with it. They're going to come up the near wall, now into the center. Shot, Eves gathers that in her body and covers it up with 444s on the clock. We're going to go to the far circle for this draw. And Claherty's going to take it again in the far circle. Wildcats come out of there with it. Gets lost in the feet of a Wildcats player. Sherwood tries to chip it out, can't. Litz pokes it back out. It goes by everybody. Mrazek gets the legs going, and the Wildcats beat her to the puck. They stop behind the net, go back the other way, up the far wall. Into the center, cut off by Sherwood, sent back to the far wall into the corner. Sherwood's going to head for a change as the Wildcats golf it out of the zone, and Zivkovic's going to stop, turn, pick it up, send it back the other way. And the Wildcats are going to chip it back to neutral. Zivkovic stops, turns, spins, sends it, but here come the Wildcats again as they knock it down into the near corner, go behind the net, and at least the back end of the Wildcats are going to change. Shot from the far circle off the side of the net. And now here come the selects back the other way. You got Claherty out here with Panetta. Stevens jumps on, and Mrazek needs to get off so Peets can get on. Dahl tried to chip it ahead to Stevens, couldn't get it through. Dahl's going to bring it herself now. She's got Stevens to her left. She's dancing on the blue line. Stevens stays on sides. Dahl in deep, and she tried to drop it off, lost it to a Wildcat. Peets finally got out there. Now we got Kiesel back. Kiesel chips it in deeper. Can't get it down to Peets as it comes back to the point. Kiesel's going to have to retreat. Panetta holds it, waits for Peets to get out. Gains his own up the near wall. Panetta in deep. Looking for a center. Can't get it through. Can't get it to Stevens. These Wildcats play good positional hockey. Stevens down to Panetta below the line. Panetta put it into the center. Peets couldn't get a stick on it. Goes over to the far wall. Wildcats far wall, here they come. Kiesel, they dump it past Kiesel into the far corner, where the Wildcats are going to pick it up, bring it into the near corner. 3 minutes on the clock, and they dance with it into the center. Kiesel chips that to the far corner, where the Wildcats are going to send it back to the far point. Shot there, hit his own Wildcats player, and it's going to come to the near point. Now down the near wall and behind the net with 2:45. Baby Johnny in the frame there momentarily. The centering pass cut off and sent, but they have it at the top of the circles. High bouncing shot, and it hit the crossbar and went down and out. It was a rainbow blooper, and Tyndall was right there. Watch the puck hit the crossbar, come down, and bounce out on a bloop shot from up high. So we got Klein, Yenny, and Clardy out here now with Howe and Marshall. Shot knocked down by Clardy, hit her high. And this puck comes back to neutral. Bounces out. We got an offsides call here on the Wildcats with 2:23 to go. Tyndall's going to bring it back to this far dot. And we'll get going here from there. So that puck's going to drift behind the Wildcats goalie, where Wildcats going to pick it up. Yenny skates in. Yenny gets a stick on it. Klein. They send it up ahead, and the Wildcats are going to break out up the near wall. Howe's going to push that play. Ooh, no call there. Howe got a stick in. Player fell down. Puck in behind the net. Marshall all the way around for Clardy. Clardy tried to put it through to Yenny. Got it there after a tip, and Wildcats pick it up, send it back the other way, and it goes through everybody. Tyndall calls off the icing on a tip, and it goes in behind Eves. Marshall gets there, stops the puck, sends it back the other way, around behind Tyndall, oddly off the wall, and Klein breaks out. Klein can't keep a stick on it as the Wildcats have to wait. Oh, they did stay on sides. They dance around Marshall, and there's a shot. They danced right around Marshall in between the circles and beat Eves mid-height. I couldn't tell whether it was blocker or glove, but player got around, danced around out of some Marshall there and picked up a goal for the Wildcats. So it's 1-0 Wildcats with 1:33 to go. Walkoskis in to take the draw. Down the near wall now. Dull. Walkoskis, I'm sorry, that was Yenny, not Dull. Walkoskis battling behind the net. Puck comes up the near wall, and Zivkovic's going to have to retreat. They get skate down along the wall with Zivkovic. Loose in front, and there's another one. They centered it for Wildcats player, and there was no defense home as Zivkovic was in the corner, and there was no support on the back end. They dropped it in front of the net, and now it's 2-0. So we'll see how they respond. They look a little sluggish this morning, honestly. We'll see how they respond as Klein comes out here with Mrazek and I can't tell, this looks like Sherwood on the far side, and Kiesel and Dahl on the back end as this puck drifts into the center. The Wildcats come up the wall with it again. They send it back. They send it across. And now down the far wall. Goes into the corner with 55 to go. In behind the net. Kiesel picks that off. Kiesel back there with Klein. Klein gets shouldered. Still shouldering. Here comes Dahl. Dahl puts it ahead to Sherwood. Sherwood gets a shot off. Goaltender knocks that down, covers it up. And with 40 seconds left on the arena clock, we're going to get a draw in the far circle, it looks like. So we're going to go to that far circle. And we're going to get Peets taking a draw with Panetta and Stevens. Kiesel and Dahl out back as that puck dies on the dot. Wildcats pick it up, take it behind the net. They chip it around Stevens up the wall, and Dahl holds it momentarily. Dahl's going to throw it on net. Goaltender's going to cover that up. And with 31 on the arena clock, we're going to get another draw. This one should be in the near circle, though, as Peets will step in and take this one. We'll see if we can get one of these two back here at the end of the period. She sends it over in the direction of Stevens, who puts it down into the corner. Peets is going to go battle there. Peets up, tried to push it to Stevens, couldn't, goes in behind the net. Peets going to keep battling, but the Wildcats are going to come out of there with it. Send it up the wall. Panetta steps in. Panetta sends it down deeper, She kicks it, goes in deeper with 14 to go. So the Wildcats send it around to the far wall. Dahl cheats in. Stevens steps up. Stevens golfs it in deeper. It's loose in the circles. Wildcats pick it up. With 3 to go, they're going to send it up the wall. Dahl will stop that, but that's going to do it for 1. We played 1. The Wildcats are up 2-0. I'll be back for 2. All right, we're coming out for 2. Walkoskis, Claherty, and looks like Yenny with Howe and Marshall out back, puck to the near wall. Wildcats are going to get there first, send it ahead. They send it up ahead to Claherty. It dances in her feet. Claherty across the Walkoskis. Howe chips it ahead. Walkoskis can't keep it on her stick, and here come the Wildcats the other way. Puck down low, and Eves lets that go behind her as Howe sends it up ahead to Yenny. Yenny backhands without looking, and Wildcats pick it up, come the other way. Howe knocks it out. Walkoskis can't get a stick on it. Now she does. She kicks it ahead. Here comes Walkoskis, gains his own up the near wall. Walkoskis stops, turns, can't get a shot off. Puck goes in behind the net. Walkoskis dances around front. Can't get it out front. Marshall's going to stop, pick it up. Marshall throws it off the wall to Walkoskis. Walkoskis dances in with it, backhands it in front of the net. And the Wildcats send it out, and that should be an icing. So we'll come back down here with 15-12 to go on the game clock. And we'll get a draw here with Litz and Zivkovic out back, Klein, Kinger, and Makasenko up front. We're going to go to the near circle here. Klein's going to step in to take this draw. And there it is. Klein knocks it in front. King pushes it to the far corner where we're going to chip it up the wall, and Zivkovic held it at least momentarily. Now they're going to come back the other way. Zivkovic sends it ahead for King. King pushes it down the wall into the corner where the Wildcats are going to chip it around to the near wall. Litz sends it down low, and Zivkovic chips it. Or I'm sorry, Makasenko chips it. And the Wildcats bring it out. Here they come back the other way. Wildcats player gets in front of Litz. Litz has a stick tied up in the arm there, and we're going to get a penalty on Litz. She got her stick tied around the arm of that Wildcats player, and Litz is going to go to the bin for an infraction here, likely to be hooking. And that is, in fact, the call. So Claherty and Walkoskis will come out here with Dahl and Kiesel to kill off this hooking penalty to Litz. 14:34 to go in the second period, and Litz is going to sit down for a minute and a half as they drop the face-off. Kiesel chips it around to the far wall. Wildcats are going to pick it up there. They chip it by Dahl. Kiesel sends it around to the near wall. Wildcats hold it near point. They send it down into the near corner off that player's stick in behind. Kiesel pushes it around for Dahl. Dahl chips it. Wildcats pick it up there. They chip it by Claherty into the center of the zone where Dahl gets a stick on it, but the Wildcats throw it into the far circle. Now they center it. It comes off Eves. Loose in front. Eves with another big save. Tyndall's going to blow the whistle there, and not sure why, as that puck was not dead, but nonetheless, it's in the far corner, and we're going to get another draw in that far corner as Stevens comes out with Panetta, Marshall, and Howe. For this draw, it looks like Stevens is going to take it as Tyndall's directing a little traffic. Stevens puts it into the corner, and they're going to battle there as the Wildcats center off Eves. It's loose in front. They're still battling for it. Wildcats turn, spin, Wildcats shot directed by Eves into the near corner where we're going to send it in behind the net where Howe's going to pick it up. Howe looking up. Gets to Panetta. She kicks it across, and they leave it out. Panetta chips it ahead. Panetta has the gain line. Stevens up the far side. Stops, turns, backhands in on the net. Loose. Panetta didn't get there in time. And it's over into the near corner. And here come the Wildcats. Wildcats come up the near wall. Marshall directs that player as they shoot. Goes over into the far corner. Stevens applies pressure. It's over into the far wall. Panetta tries to chip it. Can't. Goes in behind the net. Howe. Too far for Howe. Howe gets their battles, but the Wildcats send it up the wall. Panetta. Now Stevens picks it up. Here she comes. Stevens going to gain the red line and dump it, I bet. Oh, no. She's going to stop. She's looking. Marshall's over there. She gets it to Marshall. Marshall can't get a shot off. Stevens had overskated. Marshall looked back, didn't realize she was past the play. And now the Wildcats are going to come back the other way. Pete's cut that off at the line as the penalty expires, and here come the Wildcats back up the other way. Stevens and Panetta jump off after killing, and it looks like we're going to get Mrazek and Sherwood out here with Pete's, as the lines are all messed up after killing the Litz penalty. Now we've got Sherwood chipping it, but can't get it back out. Over to the near point. Wildcats pick it up, send it, as Sherwood steps in front of that player. They send it up the wall, and the Wildcats hold the point. From there, drift in, shoot. Puck up high, loose in front. They're beating, they're banging. It comes out to the top of the zone. Shot from there, and Eves gets that in the glove with 12:23 to go. And the boys cheer for Eves. So we're going to go to the far circle for this draw. Klein comes out here with Makasenka and Kenger, Zivkovic and Litz. We're going to get a draw in the far circle as Klein steps in to take it. Puck's still on the dot. Wildcats come out of there with it. Goes in behind the net. Makasenka getting bodied in front of the net by a Wildcats player. Over to the far corner where the Wildcats chip it out in front. Klein comes out of there with it. Klein behind the net. Stops, turns, reverses direction. Up the far wall. She's going to bank it. Took an odd bounce off the glass. Should create an opportunity, but King can't get around as she pushes that player with the stick in the back, and some might call it a cross check. As Makasenka bodies a player, now Litz sends it in deeper. All the way around behind Kenger into the far corner where it's going to come back up, and the Wildcats are going to poke it out. This is going to create an opportunity. Wildcats player on a breakaway. We got Klein got a stick in there to prevent it, and now we've got Makasenka sending it ahead to Kenger. Or I'm sorry, Zivkovic ahead to Kenger. King couldn't handle it. Now it's back in front of the Wildcats bench. Makasenka. Makasenka into King's feet. King backhands it deeper into the corner. And we're going to get a change here for the selects as the Wildcats have it behind their own net. Wildcats take it back behind their own net. Walkoskis steps in front of that one. Player falls down. Walkoskis tries to center. Still poking at it. Pokes it across to Claherty. It's in her feet. Wildcats pick it up and come back the other way. Wildcats. They're going to be offsides as player bobbled the puck a little bit coming into the zone. And with 10:59 on the arena clock, we're going to get a draw on the dot in front of the Wildcats bench. Claherty, Walkoskis, and Yenny out here with Kiesel and Dahl. And Wildcats poke it ahead. And I now have the clock back in sync, puck in the corner. Wildcats cut off that clear attempt by Kiesel. The battle on the near wall, they send it in behind. It goes around behind Kiesel. Past Dahl, and this goes by everybody, and Yenny's going to pick it up. Yenny's going to backhand it. That's going to end up right on Claherty's stick. Here comes Claherty up the far wall. 3 Wildcats, though. Claherty, nobody to do anything with as she pokes it in behind the net. Stops, turns, reverses direction. Claherty, you got Yenny back there now, too. Yenny battling with the puck. Yenny working back behind the net. Now Claherty steps in back to Yenny. Yenny throws it out front, but got cut off by a Wildcat, and here they come back the other way. Wildcats poke it ahead, and Dahl's going to cut that off, send it ahead to Claherty. Claherty far wall, throws it in deeper, heads for a change as Panetta jumps on. Stevens jumps on, and puck on the near wall here now. As Panetta stands up that Wildcats player, puck bounces over Stevens' stick, and here come the Wildcats. Near wall, Wildcats, centering pass, over to the far corner. Loose in front, Stevens pushes it under Eve's glove. And we're going to get a stoppage. So Pete's will now get out here with Marshall and Howe as Stevens, Panetta, and Pete's reunite. Marshall and Howe on the back end. Pete's going to take this draw. Pete puts it over to the corner to Hal. Hal takes it behind the net. Hal brings it up herself through neutral. She pushes it over to the wall where she loses it to a Wildcat. Panetta cuts that off, puts it into the corner with a skate, and Hal stops, turns. Stevens covering Hal high. Pete stops, turns, dance. Looked for Panetta, couldn't get it there. Marshall fanned on a shot, and over to the near wall now Panetta. Panetta throws it in deeper tried to get it to Pete's, didn't get there. They're battling in the corner. And now it goes off the side of the net, and we're going to get a stoppage with 9:18 to go. We get a wholesale change here. Claherty jumps on with Mrazek and Sherwood. We're going to keep Marshall and Hal out back. So we're going to get face-off here. Claherty will take it with Mrazek and Sherwood. 9:17 to go, second period. Claherty throws that puck over to the wall. Marshall across to Hal. Hal with a shot. Goaltender covers that one up. Puck's loose, and we're going to get a whistle with 9:09. We're going to go to the far circle. Hal shot from the point. Puck was bouncing around. They were poking and prodding, but couldn't find the back of the net as Tyndall's going to set him up for a draw in the far circle. Claherty will take this one. And Claherty puts it over for Mrazek. Mrazek back out to Hal. Hal to Marshall. Marshall dances around one. Marshall shoots, knocked down, goes behind the net. They golf it up the wall where Hal's going to step up, and they golf it right by her. Gets stuck in the skates, and they get it clear as Marshall's going to pick it up, turn, spin again. Wildcats player's going to knock that puck down. And here they're going to come back at the red line. Up the near wall, going to gain, throw it in behind. Odd bounce off the side of the net. Eves had to get involved in that one, and Marshall skates through neutral, pushes it ahead. They're going to wave off the icing as the puck goes into the near corner. Sherwood steps up. Mrazek pushes it over to the far corner, but the Wildcats are going to get there first. Out to the point, Litz. Litz backhands it down the wall. It hit Mrazek in the chest. Wildcats are going to chip it out, and Marshall's going to stop, turn. Claherty fell down on her own there, tripped over the blue line, skating backwards. And we're going to go down the near wall now. Puck in behind the net. Litz battling with a Wildcat player there in the corner. Give you a little better angle on it. And the Wildcats are going to shoot from there. Eves is going to cover that one up. And we're going to get a draw in the near circle. So we're going to draw here in the near circle as DJ Noisy Noise is playing the Rhythm Nation from Janet Jackson. And there's the goaltender change. We'll get Kanachi some work here before she heads out to South Dakota. As Klein took that face off, puck over to the near wall. Litz gets by her, back behind. Klein's going to dig. Klein pushes it up the wall. Here she comes. Klein chips it, tries to chip it, doesn't, around the Wildcats player. Puck goes in behind the net where Zivkovic's battling. She sends it up the wall, but the Wildcats are going to hold that point. King steps in, battles. King. Wildcats still have it. King. Wildcats dance around Zivkovic. They come down the circle. Litz gets a stick in there. They push to the back wall. Centering pass. It's loose. Kanachi pushes that behind the net. And now the Wildcats up to the near point. Shot from there. Got deflected. Kanachi knocked that down and pushed it behind the net. And now it's going to go up the far wall where the Wildcats are going to have it at the far point. They dance across the top of the zone. Shot. Never gets all the way through. And that one hit Kinger in the back, and they couldn't get it out. Now they finally do poke it out. Wildcats back in the snow in front of their bench. They send it ahead, and King knocks that down. Wildcats regain, come back the other way, up the far wall, or near wall rather. 6:50 to go. In behind the net, Litz loses it to a Wildcat centering pass, couldn't get the shot off. Still loose in front, backhand, drifts through the goalmouth over to the far corner, where Wildcats pick it up. The girls look flat. I'm not going to lie to you. It might be good to get this out now. They haven't had any action as that went in and either hit the top of Kanachi's stick or the crossbar. Sounded more like stick than metal. And down in the corner as Klein tries to clear Camp. Now the girls definitely look flat here today. Good we're getting this out before we head out west. And shot, Kanachi got something on that, tipped it up high behind the net. And comes over to the near point now. They dump it in lower. Makasenka can't get there. He still can't get it cleared. Goes over to the far corner. Puck now behind the net. They throw it in front. Kanachi gets some equipment on it. Covers it up with 5:59 in the second. Clardy, Yenny, and Walkoskis come out here with Kiesel and Dull to the near circle for this draw. As they're going to be to Kanachi's right, the left on your screen. And Walkoskis is going to step in to take this draw. She does. And the Wildcats come out of there with it. Oh, Clardy cut that off. She chipped it around. Here comes Clardy on a break. Clardy one-on-one with the goalie. Bad angle, and goalie makes a save over to the far corner as Yenny chips it down deeper. Clardy had a bad angle on that one. Didn't have a lot of net to work with as the puck comes into the near corner. They stop, they spin, they turn. Yenny has it behind the net, tries to put it in front, cut off by a Wildcat. Walkoskis stepped in, Wildcat chipped it around her. Clardy got a stick on that, but they cleared it back, and Dull picks it up. Dull sends it ahead to Walkoskis. Walkoskis dances around one Wildcat, but loses the puck. Walkoskis picks it up, chips it up the wall, where the Wildcats are going to pick it up in behind the net. They take it around the back. Clardy can't get a stick on it. Dull stops, turns, spins, loses it, and they chip it out. Walkoskis. Walkoskis comes across the top. Walkoskis still coming with it. Walkoskis on her backhand stops, turns, shoots, hits a Wildcat stick, and it goes into the far corner, where Yenny stands that player up, puck loose. Panetta can't hold it, and here come the Wildcats up the far wall. Kiesel steps over, gets a stick in, pushes that player behind the net. Centering pass, Walkoskis cut that off. Now Kiesel. Kiesel back over to the wall. Wildcats come out of there with it, around Panetta. Come across the top, backhand shot off Kanachi into the far wall, where Wildcats are going to cut that off. You got Panetta out here with Walkoskis, and now Stevens jumps on, comes across to Walkoskis. Walkoskis up, too far for Stevens, and that's going to be no. Tyndall waves it off. Stevens gets down there, chops it out of the corner, but the rest of the team was changing. And we're going to get an up pass. They're going to get around, they got around King, but they lost the puck. Now they go into the far corner where Peets is going to fight it off. Peets is going to stop and turn, broke ankles there, and here comes Mel Peets. Mel Peets through center. Mel across to Stevens. Stevens up the far wall. Stevens backhands it in behind the net and heads to the bench. Around the backside, Marshall holds the point. Marshall, shot from there, misses everything into the far corner. Howe steps up, they get by her. Here they come 2-on-1, they're ahead of Panetta. It's going to create a break. They dance around Kanachi. Kanachi gets a pad on that one, knocks that one into the near corner as Panetta pushes it out to Peets. Peets up ahead, too far for Mrazek. And the Wildcats are going to come back the other way. Wildcats dancing in. Backhand, Kanachi knocks that down, covers it up with 3:22 to go second period. So we will get a draw in the far circle as Litz and Zivy come out here with Sherwood, Walkoskis, and Mrazek. So we'll go to that far circle. And Walkoskis will take this draw to Kanachi's left, your right on the screen. Puck goes over to the far wall where Zivkovic picks it up. Zivkovic put it ahead Mrazek too far. Wildcats have to wait. Looked off sides to me, missed this player here on the near wall. And Litz picks it up, sends it ahead to Sherwood. Sherwood brings it out. Sherwood up the near wall, puts it over to the feet of a Wildcats player. Mrazek chips it in deeper, in behind the net. Sherwood battles. Sherwood stops, turns, can't get it into the center, and here come the Wildcats back the other way. Wildcats, they got Zivkovic turned the wrong way. They go around. Zivkovic can't get a shot off, though, as she pushes that player into the corner. And they stop, they turn. Stop and turn again, and they're going to battle, and Walkoskis going to come out. No, she gives it away. Now Sherwood. Sherwood to Walkoskis. Walkoskis up the near wall. Walkoskis still skating with it. Walkoskis loses it behind the net. Still battling, though, as she bodies that player, but he comes out of there with the puck. That puck got turned over. Sherwood back to King. King pushed it across. Walkoskis couldn't get a stick on it. Zivkovic chips it in deeper. In behind the net now, into the near corner. And the Wildcats are going to pick it up and send it out there. Here they come through neutral. They chip it ahead. And Kanachi's going to leave that for Klein. Klein's going to go up the far wall. King back to Klein. Klein comes into the center. Makasenka cut in front of her. And that allowed the Wildcats to knock it back out the other way as Kiesel sends it. Wildcats pick that up and come up the wall. And Klein steps in front, and that puck goes deep, and Kiesel's going to pick it up. Try to set it back up the wall, can't get it by a Wildcat. And they have it in the corner. They center, cut off by, I think that was King. They're going to shoot from the point, and they're going to beat Canacci High. There were 36 people between the point and the net. They beat Canacci High left corner, and that's now 3. So we're going to come back to neutral for the face-off. 3-0 Wildcats. Claherty, Yenny, and Walkoskis. And you can see that Walkoskis' shoulders, they look defeated right now. They just don't have the energy this morning for this game, which is unfortunate given where we're going next week. Walkoskis up the wall. They send it back. Kiesel. As Dahl fell down on the blue line, and we're going to be offsides. So we'll see where they bring this. It's likely to come all the way back here. Dahl tripped over that same blue line Claherty tripped over. And we're going to get a draw here in the near dot with Walkoskis. Wildcats win another one. They send it back. They stop, they turn, they send it up the far wall. That one gets dropped off. Yenny picks it up. Yenny across the blue line. Yenny up the near wall, loses the puck. Wildcats in behind their own goaltender. Around to the far wall. Gets by Dahl, and here come the Wildcats. Got a streaking player in the center as Walkoskis gets a stick in there. Stops at Kiesel. Walkoskis again. Walkoskis can't get it through. It's loose behind the net. Now Wildcats. Wildcats dance out with it. Come up to the near point. We're going to get a shot from there. Knocked down by Dahl. As Walkoskis puts it to the corner. She backhands it up the wall, but not out. They can't get it by the point player who skates it in deeper. Now in behind the net with 35 to go. They're going to battle behind the net. They send it out in front. It comes across the goal mouth. Canacci pushed it across the goal mouth with her leg pads. Wildcats over to the far near point rather. They chip it in deeper. 22 to go. And didn't realize that in the camera in the right spot. My bad. As the Wildcats have it in the near corner, they throw it in behind the net. Canacci pushes it with 12. In behind now. Wildcats just basically toying with it now. It's they skate out front. And finally, Yenny's going to get it over to Claherty, but that'll do it for the period. We've played 2, and it's 3-0 3-0 Wildcats. I'll be back 4-3. All right, there's the face-off. Stevens comes out of there with it. She loses it to a Wildcat. Sorry, I was distracted talking to somebody. We start 3 here as Marshall has it behind Canacci. She bounces it up the wall. Can't get it out, though. Now Peets picks it up. Here comes Peets through neutral. Peets drops it for Panetta. Panetta up the near wall, too far. And it's going to go back to the Wildcats. They're going to send it across. Oh, they fanned getting it out. Now Peets will pick it up. Maybe this creates an opportunity. Peets dumps it deeper, and the Wildcats are going to pick it up behind the net. They chip it by Stevens up the near wall. Hal cheats in, and Wildcats are going to knock it out. Wildcats, they got a player cutting across. And looks like we're going to have a running clock in the third period. We must be running out of ice time as the Wildcats have it on the far side and they chip it in behind the net. And now we're going to get Pete's battling in the corner. Howe has it. Try to put it up to Stevens. Stevens got a stick in there. Probably should have been a tripping penalty. And now Marshall's going to chop it up. Oh, big collision over there. You don't want to see that. Marshall drops her stick. It's loose. Canacci covers that one up. And we're going to have a running clock in this third period, according to DJ Noisy Noise. I think we're running out of ice time is the issue. And Klein's going to step in and take this one. Either that or Coach Black, the senior's seen enough to know he doesn't want this to continue. As the Wildcats throw it in behind Canacci. And the Wildcats have it in the corner. Now Zivkovic comes out of there with it. Up ahead, but not out. Claherty. They continue to battle and comes back. Walkoskis can't keep a stick on it. She turns, leaves it for Claherty, who loses it. Claherty regains. Claherty chips it back to the blue line, and Zivkovic's going to have to retreat and cover it up. Zivkovic off of a Wildcat with the turnover. There they come the other way. Litz stands him up at the blue line. Claherty. Walkoskis chips it ahead. Wildcats come up the near wall. And now they knock it down to Litz. Litz into the corner where the Wildcats are going to pick it up with 13 and a quarter to go running clock. It's in behind the net now into the near corner. Oh, and here comes Walkoskis. Walkoskis with two Wildcats back. Walkoskis up the far wall. She stops, she turns. She loses the puck. Here come the Wildcats back the other way. They skate around Litz. Sherwood steps in, stops the puck. And we're going to get a penalty here. We're going to get a slash. So we get a slash on, it's like Walkoskis. So we're going to go on the penalty kill again. And the running clock's going to be our friend at this point because it's falling apart. It's falling apart quick here. As Kinger's going to step in and take this draw. King, Kiesel, looks like Yenny, and Dull. As the Wildcats chip it into the near corner. And goes around to the far corner where Yenny's going to pick it up. Yenny's going to try to chip it ahead to King. She does. Wildcats pick it back up at center. They drop it off for another Wildcats player. They skate around Yenny, and here they come. As Dahl could probably be called for tripping there, but they didn't. And Wildcats have it in behind the net now. They put it out front. It's loose. Kiesel picks that up, sends it up the wall. Kiesel golfs it back to neutral at least, and now the Wildcats throw it back down into the far corner, where Kiesel's going to chip it ahead to Yenny. Yenny across to King. King loses it to a Wildcat, goes into the corner, shorthanded. As Panetta jumps on. Wildcats player lost the stick. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to be another, it's going to be a hold. And so much for the running clock. So now King's going to sit for a hold. Or no, a slash. So now we're going to have 27 seconds of 5-on-3 hockey. As they're going to send out Marshall, Klein, and Howe. And the situation continues to get worse. Now the clock's done. There's the clock running. Now they take it in behind the net, and the Wildcats lose the point. As Klein tried to cut it off, couldn't. Wildcats. Klein pokes at it, tries to hold him from coming in the zone. She battles him down the wall. Wildcats shot. Canacci covers that one up. And that'll kill the first penalty. As we're going to get one out of the box here. Not sure why they're not coming out of the box, but nonetheless, now they come out. Just to be fair with the running clock situation. as they come down the near point, near circle rather, now in behind. They bring it around the far circle. Shot from there, got deflected, loose in front, Howe pushing. Puck over to the near wall, 10:40 to go. Oh, big wind-up, swing and a miss. And there comes Walkoskis the other way. And Walkoskis down the far wall, shorthanded. Walkoskis in front, off the goalie's shoulder, knocks it down. And in behind and over to the far corner. And the Wildcats are going to knock it by Howe. Howe stands that player up. Klein. Klein turns, throws it in deep, and heads for a change. And we get Claherty out here with Zivkovic and Howe. Not sure why we're still playing with 3. Now we're playing with 4. And it goes in behind the net. That should do it for all the penalty time. Comes around in front. Kanachi covers that up. And we're going to get a face-off in the far circle. Running clock, as Tina told me. So we got Mrazek, Makasenka, Claherty out here with Litz and Zivkovic. 9:40 to go. Over to the far circle. And drop the puck, and Litz picks it up. Litz takes it in behind, around the backside. They bring it up the wall, and they can't get it out. And the Wildcats have it in the circle. Mrazek gets a stick on it, can't hold it. Now they have it over into the circle, and Kanachi gloves that one on a shot from the near circle. And we'll come back to this near circle for another draw with 9 minutes on a running clock. So we're going to get Claherty to step in and take this one. And puck goes behind the end line, and Mrazek's battling for it there. It comes up to the near point. Wildcats hold. They dump it down deeper. Wildcats turn, spin, hold. Still spinning, still turning. This player makes 1,000 moves, and Kanachi denies that one over to the far wall, where the Wildcats poke it deeper. Makasenka gets a stick on it. She fans on the clear, and Mrazek chips it ahead to Claherty. Claherty one-on-one. Another Wildcat circling back. Claherty tried the toe drag, didn't work. And it goes into the corner as Claherty chips it up the wall. Can't get it to Litz, it comes out. Zivkovic and Litz. Litz will get there first. She stops, she turns. She tried to send it ahead, and it's going to go by everybody, and the Wildcats are going to pick it up with 8 minutes to go. They send it across. Cut off by Litz. Litz loses it at the top of the zone, chips it into the corner, where the Wildcats are going to pick it up, send it up the wall. Dahl retreats. Big collision with Sherwood. Sherwood got the worst of that, and then she fell again. Wildcats still have it across to the far side. Shoot! Hits Kanachi in the mask and falls down Litz. Chips it up the wall. Hits the snow, so there'll be no icing. Sherwood gets a stick in there, and King has to wait for Sherwood. Back to Dahl. Across to Kiesel. Kiesel chips it across for Dahl. Dahl over skates, and it comes back to neutral where Yenny gets a stick on it. Backhands it ahead, and now comes across. And the Wildcats are going to chip it into the corner with 7 to go. Dahl can't get it out. Kiesel. Dahl. Ahead to Sherwood. Sherwood up. Chip it over to the far wall where Kiesel's going to go pick it up. Kiesel banks it up ahead to Yenny, too far. Wildcats. That's going to be offsides. For 6:54 on a running clock. So we will, looks like center ice. Claherty, Clyde, and, Claherty, Klein, and Walkoskis now with Marshall and Howe. Klein pokes it ahead. Wildcats send it back the other way. They come up the far wall. Marshall stops that player, tried to get a shot off, couldn't. They send it around behind. Walkoskis. Walkoskis ahead. Chips it into the zone, the Wildcats do, as Marshall handles it. Sends it back ahead. Walkoskis chips it out to Klein. Klein with Claherty. Klein up the far wall. Tries to get around. Does. Loses the puck in the corner. They battle. Wildcats player lost a stick. It got behind Claherty. Comes all the way out. And Howe's going to have to go chase it down. Howe up to Marshall. Tip to Walkoskis. Klein. Now Walkoskis. Walkoskis dancing along the blue line with it. Drops it for Claherty. Claherty sends it deeper in behind the net, where Klein's going to go battle. Comes out in front. It's loose in front. Wildcats pick it up there. And here they come. Back to neutral. Back to center. Up the near wall. Puts a shoulder into Howe, and it goes into the corner, where they're going to continue to battle. It comes loose. Throw the puck across the goal mouth to the far side, Wildcats. Gets poked by Walkoskis, but the Wildcats throw it in deeper with 5:20 to go. Off the side of the net. Around the back for Marshall. And up the wall, Claherty. Claherty with 2 Wildcats. She dances across the blue line. Now she's got all the Wildcats. Shot up high off the glass. And in behind the net when Panetta and Pete's out here now. Stevens jumps on. Pete's cuts it off. Pete's with a nice play loses the puck. Panetta back to the point to Litz. Litz shot gloved by the goaltender with 4:48 running clock. Should go to the far circle for this draw, as Pete's, Panetta, and Stevens are going to stay with Zivkovic and Litz. So Pete's will take this draw. This Saturday morning didn't go like anybody hoped, as Panetta pushes it out to Litz. Litz to Zivkovic. Zivkovic shot blocked by a Wildcat into the corner. Pete's will go dig it out, send it up the wall. Stevens battling along the wall. Wildcats chip it out. Here they come. 2-on-1 with Litz. Litz gets a stick in. Wildcats pick it up, back into the center. Zivkovic tips it ahead for Pete's. Pete's can't keep a stick on it. Wildcats come the other way, but they're going to be offsides with 4:07 running clock. And Tyndall's going to bring it back to, oh no, he's going to bring it back to neutral, center ice. And we got Klein, Mrazek, and Makasenka out here with Kiesel and Dull. Klein steps in for this draw. Drops it off to Makasenka. Makasenka ahead to Mrazek off the wall. Mrazek loses it to a Wildcat, goes in behind the net, where Wildcats pick it up, send it up the far wall. They chip it by Makasenka, but couldn't get it by Kiesel, who throws it in behind the net. 3:33 to go. Wildcats up the wall. Kiesel fell down. And here comes back through neutral. And this one comes across into the corner, where Klein's going to pick it up with 3 minutes, 3:20 to go. Klein still turning, spinning in behind the net now. Klein up the far wall. Tried to center it across from Mrazek, couldn't get it there. Makasenka tipped it to Mrazek. Mrazek had trouble with it. Tried to push it over the goal, couldn't do it. Mrazek throws it into the far corner with 3:02 to go. And nobody chases it down but a Wildcat. They pick it up there, they send it across. They come up the far side past King, past Sherwood. Kiesel gets a shoulder into the player, pushes it behind the net, up the wall. Can't get it to Sherwood, and this time it does come back out. Wildcats pick it up though. Wildcats across, knocked down by Makasenka. She golfs at it, can't quite keep a stick on it. And this one comes back through. Kiesel gets a stick on it, sends it to Dull. Dull picks it up. Dull back the other way, loses it. King just lazily throws it up the wall, and as I've said most of the game, the energy's not here. In behind. Wildcats player falls down, Yenny takes it. Tries to center for King, couldn't get it through. Sherwood knocks it into the corner. In behind the net, Yenny. Yenny gets shouldered off the puck, another Wildcat comes in, takes it off of her. Up the near wall, 2 minutes to go. And here come the Wildcats as Dull pushes that play to the corner. In behind the net now. Kiesel comes out of there with it up the wall. Kiesel loses it to a couple of Wildcats. King chips it. Wildcats come out of there with it. They got a player loose in front, wide open. Kanachi saves, point blank range, backhand shot off the post. We're going to get a whistle as Kanachi got tackled by Dull. And let's just make sure everybody gets up. Just make sure everybody gets up. And Dull's up, so we're good. Minute 23 running clock. Klein, Claherty, and Walkoskis come out here with Marshall and Howe as this puck goes into the near corner. We're going to battle there with 1:06 on the clock. In behind the net, Howe's going to come out of there with it. Howe pushes it around and comes up the far wall. Howe still battling. Careful, Chloe, you got your stick in there. Walkoskis, a little bit of an elbow there. Howe goes down. They're still battling along the wall with 42 to go. Klein, they all fall down. This is what you worry about, as now Clardy comes out of there with it, up the near wall. She stops, loses the puck back the other way. Come the Wildcats. Kanachi was going to come out and never got the puck out of the zone. Wildcats come back the other way. And it goes into the corner where Marshall's going to pick it up with 14 to go. She's going to golf it around behind, and it's going to come up to the near point, where it's going to come back to neutral. 6-5-4, 3-2-1, and that'll do it. So a disappointing effort this morning from the girls leads to a 3-0 loss to the Wildcats. Next up's the national tournament in Sioux Falls, which, as I've said a couple of times, I cannot broadcast. The rules do not allow it. So you'll either have to buy the subscription or watch for updates on TeamSnap. As always, it's been a pleasure bringing you these. This will be the end of it for this year, for this team. So the channel will stay active. It'll be live for next year. We'll use the same channel with wherever Addie ends up playing hockey. Hopefully it's right back here, but the tryout process will tell us that. And I will bring you more girls hockey action on this same channel next year with whatever color my girl's wearing. So as always, thanks for watching. I appreciate the subscriptions, which allow me to keep doing this. So please don't cancel your subscription, because that subscription allows me to keep the channel active and keep the live streams coming. So appreciate you viewing, appreciate you being here, and I will bring you some action next season. But these girls are off to nationals, and stay tuned for that action via TeamSnap or the USA Hockey live stream. Have a good rest of your Saturday.